Hello students, let us start with the next topic in group dynamics, that is types of groups. What do you mean by types of groups? Basically, there are only two types in group, that is formal and informal. The meaning of formal group is it is organizationally structured. Every person has got his own responsibilities, duties, a designation. The communication channel is clearly set. All these are the features of a formal group. Okay. So the basic meaning of formal group is it is organizationally structured and it is deliberately formed by the management where it becomes easy for them to give individual tasks to every member. As you have seen in the features also, like it is deliberately formed and the pattern of communication is also very defined. The rules and regulations are also laid down to regulate the behavior of the group members. The formal group is further classified into command group, task group, and committees. Okay, so we'll see the first one, that is command group. It is relatively a permanent, like it is a permanent group, and again it is organizationally structured where there is a manager. Below the manager there are supervisors and subordinates. This helps them to work more efficiently and in a better way. Now you can see in this chart below, like if you know, in every organization there are departments. Just consider this as one of the department. If this is a production department, there is a manager here, then there are three supervisors. Below the three supervisors there are subordinates. So a command group is basically it is a shorter form of the organizational structure where you have three designated people, that is supervisor, manager, supervisors and subordinates. Moving on to the next formal group, that is task group. The basic meaning of task group is to achieve a particular task. So to achieve a particular task, you will not require a permanent group. So most probably the task group are always for a temporary period of time. Like if an organization has a specific problem which is common to all the other departments, they will get representatives from each department and they will form a task group which will help them in solving the problem. Once the problem is solved, they go back to their particular job. It can also be called as project groups where they will be together to complete a particular project. After that, they will go back to their own work. So that is basically task groups are temporary in nature. So the third type of formal group is committees. So when we talk about committees, committee is, it can be permanent as well as it can be for a temporary purpose depending on the purpose what the organization wants. There are various committees formed by the companies and the committee members will be representatives from various departments. Now you can, like if you take for example in our college we have examination committee, a disciplinary committee. So we have various committees and these committees are for a longer duration of time or it is permanent in nature. And we have representatives from each department so that we consider uh, all the students and all the faculty as one, and then we have one committee for a college. Okay, then we move on to the next type of group, which is called as informal groups. Now as you know, formal groups are those groups which are organizationally structured. It was already defined, like who will come under whom, what will be the organization structure, how they will communicate. But informal group is totally opposite to what is formal groups. So in informal group, they spontaneously come together and they make their own group based on their likes and dislikes, based on their interest, on how they connect with each other. Now you can take for example, like even you have two section A and section B. When you say section A and section B, both are formally created. But once you are out of the class or out of the college, you have friends from either classes. That is because you share a common bond, you share a common interest, and because of that you form groups, that is called as informal group. The same thing follows even in an organization. There are formal groups, but from those formal groups, because of common interest, some people come out and they form their own informal groups. And both formal as well as informal groups have a great impact on the working of the organization. So let us see what are the features of informal groups. They are spontaneously formed. Here in formal they were deliberately formed, but here it is they are spontaneously formed, means they come together with their common interest. They are not formally structured. There is no organization structure in an informal group. There is no structure at all who will be the supervisor or subordinate. But there are certain informal leaders who have very good leadership skills and people are influenced by them. So informally they behave as leaders. They are not formally designated. Informally people tend to believe them and are influenced by them. That's why they become informal leaders. Then the last is informal communication. They do not follow a particular pattern of communication that flows from the hierarchy. They have informal communication, and whenever they want, they can communicate with each other. So this is the basic difference between what is formal and informal groups. So when we come to informal groups, uh, there are different types of informal groups. Okay, so in informal groups there is interest, friendship and reference group. So all the three are different, and you'll just come to know how all the three are different. Now when we say interest groups are formed because the members have some common interest. They have some common interest or common goal, because of which they form groups. Now you can take for example, like if I like reading books and there are many colleagues in the department, but one more colleague also likes to read books. So we will form an informal interest group. Our interest is common. That is why we form a group. Now you can also take an example in this which I have given related to students, where the students may not be very good friends, but they may come together for studying. So because their basic objective is to understand. So that is called as interest groups. The second one is called as friendship groups. It is quite common among everybody here. Friendship groups are those groups which are formed by members. You come together because you have certain common ideas, common beliefs. You are your ideology is similar. You share the same bond or same values, etc. Like if you are influenced by BJP or Congress, and if the other person is also influenced by BJP, then you tend to form your own friendship group because your likes and dislikes match. Now moving on to third informal group is called as reference group. Now what do you mean by reference group? Reference group is it's again a special type of group where you are referred by somebody or you form a part of that particular group. Now you are part of a particular family, or when you are in college or in an organization, you are identified because of your friends or religious affiliations. It is called as reference groups. So these three comes under in the first type of informal group, that is interest, friendship and reference group. Okay. Then the second type of informal group is clique. Now the basic meaning of clique here, it is formed by very few members. It can be usually from 2 to 6 members. Again, it is quite similar to the previous one, but they have just bifurcated into more types of groups in informal groups. Here again they have same ideas and they with mutual interest they come together. Now this cliques is further divided into three types, that is vertical, horizontal and mixed clique. Now what do you mean by vertical? Vertical is like how the rank flows. Now when a supervisor and a subordinate, they form their own informal group because of common interest, it will come under vertical cliques. Now what do you mean by horizontal cliques? Horizontal cliques are those group where they have similar interest with a similar ranking. That is, for example, a subordinate becomes a friend with a subordinate, supervisor with a supervisor, because of their common interest. It is called as horizontal clique. The third one in clique is called as mixed clique, where you have a combination of people. It can be subordinate, it can be supervisor. You have combination from one department to another department. It is called as mixed clique. Okay. Then the third type in informal group is called as sub clique. Now the meaning of sub clique is there are many organizations, many different types of industries. When you have friends in similar different types of organization, it is called as subclique. You can take for example, if I am a lecturer in a college and I have many other lecturer friends from other college and we have some common interest, common topics to discuss about, it will be called as subclique. Okay, then the next type of informal group is called as sales classification of group. Here in sales classification of group, the Dr. Sales has classified the groups on the basis of the pressure tactics they use. So he has divided it in them into four types: apathetic groups, erratic groups, strategic groups, and conservative groups. Now the basic meaning of apathetic group. Here in apathetic group there is a leader, but he does not have any influence over his members. And here these people are unskilled or very low level workers with very low wages who cannot put any pressure even if they want any changes. That is why they are called as a pathetic group. The second type of group is called as erratic groups. According to erratic groups, they can be easily instigated as well as they can even be calmed down very easily. That is one of the basic speciality of what is erratic groups. These group members are semi-skilled and they are better communicating about their rights than the apathetic group. The leader is influential compared to apathetic groups. The third one is called as strategic groups. Now in strategic groups you have skilled workers and they have their own job position and they are independent in doing their own tasks. Now these members can apply pressure on them. They have their own leaders. The leader is influential and they can apply pressure on the management to bring out changes which is beneficial for them. The fourth one is called as conservative group. According to conservative group, they are highly skilled individuals or professionals who form a very important part of the organization and they can bring in changes, they can exert pressure and they can bring in changes in the organization. So according to Dr. Sales, he has classified the informal groups into four types: apathetic, erratic, strategic and conservative. Now I just would like to explain that this full question, that is types of group, is very important from your exam point of view. You twice it has come for 6 marks and twice it has come for 14 marks. So now what I have explained, I have given a complete explanation of what you need to write for a 14-mark answer. But if the same question is come for 6 mark, you can stop till what is subclique. That is, you have to differentiate the two groups, that is formal and informal. In formal, again you divide it into command, task and committee. Then when you come to informal, you give the features of what is informal and then you explain what is interest, friendship and reference, what is clique and subclique. It is enough. But when the same question is asked for 14 marks, you need to write the type of cliques, that is vertical, horizontal and mixed. And you also need to explain the sales group or sales group given by Dr. Sales. I think it is clear. If you have any doubts, you can further get back to me through my WhatsApp number or you can call and clarify your doubts. Thank you. We will move on to the next topic in the next class. So my request, it's not more than request, you have to write this particular answer for 14 marks. You have to write everything that is there in the slide. Okay. Thank you.